I wasn't gonna make a video about this, but I guess somebody doesn't like it, so we'll make the video anyway. There was a video a guy made where people were talking about when did it become real to them? When did COVID-19 become real to them? And, you know, some of it was stupid. Some of it was people who are brain dead who don't pay attention anyway. Talking about disruption in their life, like people having to move home from college, losing their jobs. Okay, you know, those are things that they basically, it hit them. It's like if you walk outside, somebody punch in your face, you have no choice but to acknowledge that. Let's understand something. It's been interesting watching this. It's been like a case study when I go to the store and there's nothing on the stock, nothing on the display, and that's been something. See the sheriff's office like helping to close stores. That's different. That's definitely different for me to see that. And the folks on here talking about how, you know, they had family members die, family members get sick. That's something. I want you to understand something. These are still sheep. They're not doing these things because they realize it's an inherent risk, it's an inherent danger that has happened. They're doing these things, they're dealing with these things because they have to deal with them. Like my father. So they've got the mindset of a person before the emergency, and they're operating in that way. Whereas for me, COVID-19 is just an example of a crumbling system. I mean, I'm not saying if you had a president, we don't have a president. If you had a real president in office, if you had common sense stuff, if you had a CDC that hadn't been chronically defunded, if you didn't have a president who had pretty much cut the pandemic response team, I'm not saying if Trump hadn't have done these things that we would all be sitting here looking at rainbows and eating cotton candy. I'm not saying that. I'm not. A part of me believes now that no matter what was done to prepare for it, this would have still been a serious emergency. And if that's just what it is, I forgot the CDC not using the testing equipment that the rest of the world uses. That's another example of something that didn't have to happen. That by you doing, you wasted time. That's my thing with Trump. That's the thing I want to make clear to y'all. It's just wasted time. Everything about wasted time. I'm not saying that it would have all been good, but I am saying that I think you would have had less loss of life. I think that people would have taken it seriously. And some people are never going to take it seriously. I mean, you got the whole world has warning lights going. State of North Carolina declares state of emergency. National state of emergency. WHO declares a pandemic. And folks still aren't practicing safe distancing. So you're not going to wake everybody up. I know that. I understand that. But the one thing you can do is not give people reasons to procrastinate and to ignore. You can come out and say, look, man, I have my own opinions. I'm not a scientist. I'm a public official. I'm the president of the United States. There may be a danger to this. So I'm going to let the doctors and the scientists speak about this imminent global health emergency. That's what I would have done. You don't have to be a troop. That's the problem with everything Trump does, is that for Trump, he demands full support. Like, Trump is not a person that's going to respect you disagreeing with him. You're not going to do that. If you don't agree with him 100%, you're going to have problems. Reagan didn't do that. There have been plenty of conservatives that had people they work with. Reagan and Tip O'Neill. Everybody don't have to agree with everything you say, but you can have mutual respect. Trump doesn't do that. Trump attacks people. When Trump came out and called Christianity Today, he called it a leftist rag. I bust out laughing when I see, that's a fucking lie. I know that's a lie. I mean, what does that mean? what he's saying is, if you don't give me 100% support, I'm going to attack you. I'm going to attack you. You know, I'm gonna make partisan remarks, call you leftists and stuff like that. It's just what he does. So people out here didn't prepare, and they're dealing with this stuff, but they're not in the thought pattern I'm in, which is that this is gonna go on for a while. I've said it before about how, for me, bugging out and all that stuff, that's crazy. That's not happening. But we're watching the slow collapse. This is the long emergency. We're watching the slow collapse of America. COVID-19, I think, exposed that America is not a global force for peace. America is not the leader of the free world anymore. I mean, I'm not even saying that Trump did that, but I think that's what the world realizes, that you can't turn to America anymore. Like a soldier, he said, the cavalry's coming. You can't count on the cavalry. The cavalry decided that it cost too much. The cavalry decided that it wanted to use different tank tracks that their friend made from their friend's business to say, to make profit for their friends. The cavalry decided, you see what I'm saying? That's why I said before about nationalism. I spoke about how with Trump, with nationalism, that you're going to get a society that is not going to work cohesively in a major emergency. That's what's happened. We're not working together. And I don't think there's going to be any violence, but I wouldn't bet against it. We're in an emergency, and we don't have a clear-headed person running the show. I mean, it's sad to me that sheeple had to have this happen for them to kind of wake up a little bit and realize how tumultuous these times are. I mean, I said before that even if the pandemic ended tomorrow, I probably would spend my next couple of paychecks fucking buying as much oatmeal, bleach, probably get like them overshoes things. Yeah, I've been looking at that, getting overshoes and stuff like that. I mean, like, probably get some more UVC lights. I mean, I think that for these sheeple, they're looking at like it's a hurricane, like climate change. It's a hurricane, and it's bad, but it's gonna go away. Whereas for me, coronavirus, what I'm saying to you is this, man. If this had happened 30 years ago or 40 years ago, I don't think we would have had the loss of life we've had. I don't think LBJ or Bush or either one of the Bushes would have done this and attacked doctors and nurses. I don't think that would have happened. I think that what Trump represents is just the ugliness and the pettiness that exists, and the people that love him for it are the ugly, nasty, petty people. I'll just say this. This is not a singular emergency. This is not something that's by itself. This is a reckoning. This is a harbinger of what's to come, of the darkness. It's amazing to me. I mean, honestly, I'm going to tell you, it's amazing to me that things have held together as long as they have. I mean, Canadian Pepper, he talked today about different things going on. I'm pretty sure New York is getting, they've got that on their mind. I was looking at when was it de Blasio, I think, when he rolled out those National Guard, all that. I knew right then what that was. They were getting ready. They're getting ready for the war to come. These folks are gonna tear it up. I don't even blame them. I mean, it's funny to me because I think that for a good portion of the population, like stealing and looting, it don't mean nothing to them. It isn't even like a big deal. It ain't even like a thought of crossing a line. They're gonna do it, and they make fun of me and you, people like us, because here we are. It's like I said to you before. Me wearing a respirator mask. How does that affect you? Like how does what's in here affect anybody's life but my own? And how does wearing this affect my life? Affect your life? I'm asking. How does this affect you? How does anything in here affect you? It doesn't. Doesn't nothing to do with you, nothing at all. And I've come to accept that. That it. People talk about how it can be done and stuff, as far as quarantine and other things, how they're gonna get this stuff dealt with. And I've said it before, we're in a war. And these Southern people are not taking this thing seriously either. The blacks and the rednecks. They're not taking this thing seriously. So yeah, man. Maybe China was able to do a lockdown. Maybe China was able to, do what had to be done. And God bless them. Good for them. But this isn't China. And we are not a socially cohesive society. Understand that. So, before you start trying to put foreign laws and foreign doctrine upon the United States, you might need to wake up. Might need to wake up and smell the bacon frying in the oven. The bacon frying in the pan. This ain't China. And Trump downplaying the reality of it didn't help. It didn't. Yeah, I mean, even now, months in, I get little marks and stuff. That's why I really don't feel bad for the dead. Because, a part of me knows that with black people, they don't take this stuff seriously. When I went yesterday, last night, and I brought my mail back, I was coming back from Indiana, that express postal run. And none of the black folks in there had on masks. Not one. When I picked the mail up, I think it was Saturday, it was a Mexican lady. She had on a little mask. It was black women, nothing metal masks. When I got there last night, it was a Hispanic guy, I think, up on load. He had on a mask. Black people are not taking this seriously. And what's worse, they think it's funny to knock me for it. That's why my dad talks about how we're going to put white people back into slavery. Like, I'm not listening to that, because you got a lot of black folks doing shit I don't agree with. That's one of them. I'm not going to say I got a bone to pick with the black community, but you got some real stupid people in the black community. And I'm seeing that. You got some dumb rednecks, but you got some really dumb, asinine, stupid people down here. I'm serious. That is real talk. I can't, that's my thing about the doctors and the nurses. What are you fighting for? For them? For folks who were laughing about it 2 weeks ago and now are sick? Are you going to risk taking it home to your family? That's not how it works. I don't hate black people. I don't hate myself. I don't hate white people. I hate ignorant Southern culture. I'm going to leave it at that.